Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a wonderful day and a very beautiful day. It's very cold today, and it's very beautiful today, but it's very cold and very windy. And I hope you'll be very happy with this next episode. This next episode is about the Notan Empire, and their abilities and their combat strategies and their tactician and a group of powerful assassin in this episode. The Notan Empire is a very founded empire in the 31st century, founded by the supervillain known as the Notan King, in establishing control of the other worlds and all of the other civilizations by conquering them. He became a high-ranking member of a secretive secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five that decides the fate of humanity and that wants to control the entire sacred universe and the rest of the other worlds and the rest of the other civilizations throughout the known universe and throughout the rest of sacred existence. In doing so, the Notan king led the Notan empire through greatness and through sheer force of will, expanding its empire and leading its entire assassins and supervillains through greatness and through sheer force of will, guiding them to a destined mission to killing and assassinating every member and every hero who poses a threat to his rule and also to his reign. Within the 31st century, another secret society of supervillains was formed at the time in order to overthrow the Notan king's power and his reign from his and his reign and his ruling from the other worlds and from the other civilization. That secret society was known as the Sacred Circle, which was formed by Lord Ra and his rebellion slaves who exactly fought against the Notan Empire and the rest of them, and forcing the Notan king and the rest of the Notans and the rest of the Notan knights to retreat and also to teleport away. After the battle against the Sacred Circle, the Notan Empire exactly decided to exactly align itself with the members of the Order of the Five, with the Sixth Society of Supervillains known as the Order of the Five, working on their behalf with their plans and with their missions and with their goals and with their objective activities in exactly controlling the rest of humanity and the rest of sacred existence and the rest of the sacred universe by any means necessary. In doing so, the Noten Knights assassins, known as the supervillains, have access to super technologies and to access to advanced technologies and to dark weapons and to destructive technologies, using these technologies to exactly cause havoc and destruction upon worlds and upon civilizations. The Intergalactic Coalition and the Universal Heroes has exactly anticipated the Noten Knights and Assassin would exactly strike again in exactly using these advanced technologies to wreak havoc and creating chaos and destruction upon its wake. The Intergalactic Coalition frequently keeps on clashing with the Noten Knights Assassin and with the Noten Knight Empire supervillains and exactly keep on frequently clashing with them. They casually fought up with the members and occasionally stopped them and preventing by assassinating every member of the sacred leaders with the members of the Phoenician hunters, stopping them with the assassination attack in order to fulfilling their contract and rendering the contract moot by their masters and by their leaders. The Noten Knights assassins are very well disciplined in hand-to-hand combat and are very skilled in swordsmanship blades, daggers, shurikens, and quietly in agility and also endurance, and are very well tactical in and very well quietly powerful super tactician and very quietly super strategist with the minds of the assassin, with the minds of supervillains. They despise the universal heroes and the intergalactic coalition with everything they're doing in trying to bring hope and inspiration and liberating all the worlds and all the civilizations throughout the Shadow Empire's control. In doing so, they form an alliance with the Shadow Empire, with the Shadow Empire warlords, and with the Shadow Empire commanders, in exactly forming an alliance with them in order to exactly help the Shadow Empire tighten its grip on the worlds and all the other planets that they managed to exactly conquer, helping them exactly assassinate members of the Intergalactic Coalition and aliens of the Intergalactic Coalition who pose a threat to their dominant goals, and who pose a threat to their universal dominant goals and to the rest of the sacred universe's plans. Despite this, the universal heroes are quietly determined to stop the Noten assassins and stopping some of them who have quietly have superhuman abilities super magical, dark magical abilities, and some who have teleportation abilities, others who have the ability to open portal, and some of the members who have abilities. Some of the women noted knight assassins are very skilled in dark magic, are very skilled in dark magic with the ability of they even quietly part faithful and part. Some of them are part faithful, some of them are part druid. They like part hybrid, part of the two of the species. Very skilled with dark magic and very skilled in dark magic and very quietly skilled with the magic, very skilled with dark magic and very skilled with advanced technology. Using these abilities and these skills in order to even the odds in battle, they were able to exactly fight off against the universal heroes and the universal heroes' forces and the scouts. The battle was quietly a short battle. None of the members were quietly caught into or taken into ultimately into custody, but some of them were quietly forced to retreat, and some of them were quietly able to teleport away. The Intergalactic Coalition was able to exactly gather as much of information about the Notin Knight assassin and the Notin woman assassins, who were very quietly skilled in the abilities of hand-to-hand combat and the ability of teleportation. They were able to exactly anticipate their moves and were able to exactly prevent the assassination attempts and the plans from killing or exactly assassinating every sacred leader and every members of the members of the Intergalactic Coalition, which was exactly prevented in doing so. The Nortonite assassin even arranged for a battle cruiser to exactly create a powerful to exactly create a powerful snow among the ice worlds and among the ice worlds and among the water worlds, in order to freeze half of the ice worlds and other planets into turning it into an ice world and into an ice planet in order to reconquer them, doing it as a favor for the docking for a powerful supervillain known as the docking in his secret society to seize control of the other worlds, seizing control of the other worlds and other planets. The Universal Heroes exactly went on ahead on an operation to shut down the battle cruiser's operation above the skies and destroyed it with the help of the members known as Firebird, Magic Girl, Organic Boy Rex, Water Boy, Universal Man, Hank Starwood, Sam Starwood, Ivy, Ferris Hellfire, and Vogel Smith. With the help of the anticipation of the members of the Universal Heroes, anticipated and shut down the battle cruiser and destroyed it in doing so, saving lives and saving all the other worlds. Despite this, the Notin members assassin weren't quietly disappointed with the destruction of the battle cruiser that the Universal Heroes were able to exactly deliver a shocking knock, but they were able to tighten their grip on the remaining worlds and the remaining civilizations in doing so. The Notinites even used a very powerful dark entity that came from a dark world, an unknown world that came from a very powerful dark world, which they were able to combine it with advanced technology to control people and also to control the inhabitants of the civilization. The Dark King came to the aid of the Notin Knight, who was a member of another secret society known as the Order of the Five, which I exactly previously told you about. This Notin Knight is a supervillain and is a high-ranking member of the secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five, and is a very ambitious Notin Knight. He is a master tactician and a super strategist, very brilliant and very quietly immortal and very quietly super. He's a very quietly a super villain and very quietly determined foe that the Universal Heroes have ever faced. He came to the aid of the Dark King and promised to help the Dark King with his conquest and with his planning in conquering the vast universe, conquering vast swaths of the sacred universe and and also the sacred world itself. In doing so, he wanted to prevent the Universal Heroes from exactly saving other worlds and other planets in doing so, which was exactly part of the deal. The Notin Knight agreed on the terms of the deal, and he also exactly agreed that he'll use Ice Boy in order to use his ice powers and his ability in order to stop and prevent the Universal Heroes from exactly reaching their destination. The battle with Ice Boy and the other heroes lasted for about 20 minutes, which is exactly also about 20 minutes in exactly duration, which was exactly long enough for the founders to exactly regain control of the other worlds and other civilizations. Thanks with the assistance of the aid of the Notin Knight, with the assistance of the head of the Note Night, which was able to exactly assist the founders to exactly control the other worlds and the other civilizations without the intergalactic coalition, knowing and literally unknowns to the intergalactic coalition and unknowns to the universal heroes. Despite this, the Noten Knights assassin, a very intelligent and a very powerful tactician, forming alliances with other supervillains and joining forces with another secret society of supervillains, working with them and working on their behalf in order to further their plans and their ambition, in order to assassinate anyone else who poses as a threat to their goal and to their mission. They will exactly do whatever it takes in order to make their reputation and their secret organization be kept in secrecy, and also to function within the shadows of the world and within the shadows of sacred worlds by any means necessary. They frequently clash with the Formation Hunters, who have become their rivalry since for centuries. Since for centuries, they become rivalries in fighting each other, and they've always been exactly fighting each other. The alliance is quietly determined to cut off the Noten Knights assassins' operation on vast worlds and on vast civilizations, which they exactly did. In doing so, they were able to remove some of the Noten Knights scouts and some of their forces out of the other planets and out of the civilizations, which the Intergalactic Coalition was able to exactly take some into custody and able to exactly send them straightly to the astral prison, to be taken straightly to the astral prison, to remain in prison, and also to remain in prison to the astral prison, and also to remain in custody of the astral prison, and able to exactly interrogate them and ask them questions about exactly who was behind orchestrating this massive attack and who was exactly behind. But upon answering all the questions, the Noten Knights were exactly trained not to ask any questions, and exactly trained not to ask any questions or any specific questions due to their master's training and due to their master's leadership and guidance, and are exactly unable to ask her any questions, and are exactly trained to exactly endure any hard torture and any hard interrogation by any means necessary. The Intergalactic Coalition didn't exactly get any answers from the Noten Knights assassins, so they were exactly taken directly, straightly to the astral prison. Unknowns to the Intergalactic Coalition and to the Universal Heroes, another supervillain known as Professor War was exactly controlling the astral prison, mysteriously released these Noten Knights back into the organization, into the Noten Knights organization, in order to exactly work on the behalf of the Order of the Five, which he successfully did exactly. But the Universal Heroes were quite well aware that Professor War is a high-ranking member of a secret society of supervillains known as the Founders, that are quietly eager to controlling humanity and the rest of the sacred universe and the rest of sacred existence by any means necessary. The Noten Knights assassin women are very skilled in hand-to-hand combat. They are part druid and they are part faithful. They are like part of the two species, and they are very skilled with dark magic. They have the ability of teleportation, the ability of summoning, the ability of opening portals, the ability of hand-to-hand combat, the ability of master strategist, the ability of tactician, the ability of immortality, the ability of immortality, the ability of using advanced technology, and the ability of mind control, and the ability of hypnosis, and the ability of cantation, and the ability of reading mind control, and the ability of casting spells. The Noten Knight woman assassins are very, very dangerous and are very, very, very badly villains, not to be underestimated within the organization of assassins. They are the most worst and feared. They have the ability of superhuman speed, super strength, and the agility and endurance. They even have the ability of reading minds and also seeing through the mind itself, and the ability of sensing attacks and even knowing attacks. They even have the ability of super limping and super strength. They are completely immortal beings and are very quietly immortal villains, assassins, not to be underestimated. Within the 30th century, after the Noten king stepped down from leading the Noten Empire, the Noten Empire decided to align itself with the Order of the Five. The Order of the Five led the Great Noten Knights. The Order of the Five led the Great Noten Knights into greatness with the leadership of Dog Ren, and the Noten Knight assassin supervillain, who quietly became a high-ranking member of the secret society. In doing so, they led the organization to great heights and to great leadership, teaching the Noten Knights assassin in a training course of knowing how to use swords and how to use daggers and blades and sticks learning them how to exactly assassinate the opponents and the adversaries, fighting off against any hero and any adversary and any opponent who poses a threat to their mission, and also to the entire quest in killing and assassinating anyone who poses a threat to their mission and also to their rule. Despite this, the Noten Knights assassin supervillains are the most dangerous assassins and are the most powerful, high-ranking assassins in the entire sacred universe. They are rumored to be the worst, feared, and the most dangerous upon the Order of Darkness assassins. Despite from the two organizations of these two organizations, they are the worst of the worst, and not to be exactly meant to be underestimated. They combine technology with dark magic, creating dark technology with dark magic, using dark magic's power to create dark technologies and destructive technologies, and partnering up with the Shadow Empire warlords in order for them to conquer worlds and civilizations, helping them to exactly conquer all those worlds and other civilizations, which is exactly part of the deal, using the power of the dark entity, using the power of the dark entity's magic in order to exactly create destructive technologies and destructive crystal technologies in order to control the inhabitants and the species of the other worlds and other civilizations. In doing so, the Noten Knight assassins, supervillains, are the worst of the worst, very skilled, and are the baddest of the baddest, not to be underestimated by any means necessary. Universal Man, Sacred Man, United Man, Eagle Man, four, the founder of the Four Nation Hunters, the founder of the Two Nation Hunters, and seven, who the Seven Nation Hunter, and Warman himself. These heroes have quietly learned the hard way that these assassins are not meant to be underestimated and are not meant to be quietly taken lightly. They frequently clash with them. They fought with them in some occasions, and they frequently fought with them over the years and over the centuries. Especially for who's the founder of the Four Nation Hunter, frequently clashed with the Noten Knights assassin and was able to take some of them into custody. The others were able to escape. Upon his debrief, he said that these assassins are skilled and are very intelligent, are very clever, and are very, very smart, not meant to be underestimated by any means necessary. Their abilities are beyond comprehensible, not meant to be taken lightly. They are the worst of the worst. The Universal heroes have put them and ranked them the worst of the worst supervillains and the worst of the worst assassins, not meant to be underestimated, especially now that they have aligned themselves with the Order of the Five, working on their behalf in order to further their goal and in order to further their ambition. In doing so, the alliance between the two societies has become stronger and has become a stronger bond between the two, able to exactly work together to further their ambition and their goals in controlling humanity and also thrusting humanity through chaos, through famine, through poverty, in order to lift them up to rise through greater heights, for them to become the dominant ruling species of the entire known universe and of the rest of sacred existence. Despite this, the members of the Notenite assassins are cruel and are ruthless and are very skilled, except for the women Notenites, who are very quietly kindly, and very quietly cunning, and are very quietly mischievous, and are very quietly intelligent, and with raw skill, intellect, able to use their technologies and dark magic to creating destructive technologies for the Shadow Empire warlords, since they form a pact and a deal with the Shadow Empire warlords that they'll help them reconquer all the worlds and all the civilizations that the Intergalactic Coalition and the Universal Heroes have managed to exactly liberate, and they're exactly intending on doing so by any means necessary. The Universal Heroes know very well that they're not meant to be underestimated with their abilities and with their skill set of assassination and the abilities of endurance, agility, and any ability that these Noten Knights possesses are not meant to be underestimated. Ghostmaster and Golden Knight and Metal Face and Shadowfly and Redfly are the worst villains who exactly associated themselves with these assassins in order to further up their goals for their master's goals and for their master's goals and for their master's missions and goals and missions in conquering the known universe and the rest of sacred existence by any means necessary. The Universal Heroes have been frequently clashing with these assassins, taking some of them into custody, asking them questions about who is leading them now, and who is the new bosses, who leads them, and who is the big bad who's leading them now and who's a big bad and who are their masters. They've been able to exactly get questions and interrogating them, but there's been no response from the assassin supervillains because they are highly intelligent and they are highly remarkably intelligent. Despite this, they're not meant to be underestimated at any means necessary. The alliance with the Shadow Empire has become a powerful alliance in helping the Shadow Empire warlords control and conquer as much of the vast universe and as much of the vast universe and as much of the vast worlds across sacred existence by any means necessary. The Notanite women are not meant to be underestimated. These Notanite assassin supervillains, this group of assassins of supervillains are not meant to be underestimated. They formed an alliance with the other Shadow Empire warlords to help them with their goals in order to further their own goals and their mission, and they're not exactly meant to be taken lightly. Despite this, they maintain their certain individual bases as islands, some island worlds and island villages where they exactly operate under the radar so that the universal heroes don't have to track them down, as well as a central headquarters, which is a mountain, which is a sacred mountain where they all train and exactly convene and meet and discuss the operations of taking down the universal heroes and the rest of the intergalactic coalition and the rest of the other heroes. They reconvene on the central headquarters of the mountain worlds and the mountain planets in September the 7th, which so exactly able to exactly meet to discuss how to take out the universal heroes. But Doc Ren, the dark magic user, the high-ranking member of the supervillain secret society of the Order of the Five, reassured the assassins and told them that they should exactly stand down and not to do anything else because the Order of the Five will take matters to themselves, which that was exactly their last meeting with the members of the Order of the Five, and they were exactly promised to exactly lay low, and they were promised to exactly not to take any matters to themselves, which the operation was for them to keep training the new assassins, the new Notanite assassins, and the new members of the organization. Despite this, these Notanite assassins are very skilled, very adaptable in hand-to-hand combat. They know exactly how to fight and how to kill and how to exactly wipe out any adversary who poses as a threat to their mission. The universal heroes and the world heroes and united heroes frequently clash with these assassins in order to stop them with their goals and with their missions by any means necessary. Well, I all hope you guys enjoyed this episode and this video, and I all hope you have a beautiful and wonderful day and stay safe and stay warm. Bye.